John, we talked to Alex Anthopoulos on a couple of days ago, and we talked about all the rumors about you guys going after a pitcher, another starting pitcher, Jeff Samardzija, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Alex also mentioned that he was also interested or focused at least a little bit on, as he said, doing away or eliminating some of the platoon situations in the infield. In other words, I'm putting words in Alex's mouth, but I think I'm safe in doing this. Essentially, he's looking at possibly adding another bat, possibly another infielder, an everyday infielder to the mix, and then, whatever that means for Brett Lawrie, whether it's at third and second. I mean,
right.
Those chips will fall where they may. As a manager, when you see it, when you have a team that went through a month like it did in May, where your lineup was so hot. And I mean, we all know you're never as good as you are when you're as hot as you are. You're never as bad as you are when you're as cold as you are, all that stuff.
Right.
But do you have enough of a read on this lineup that you could say to Alex, hey, if we are going to make a change, we need this commodity, whether it's, I don't know, a right-handed guy who gets on base a lot, a left-handed hitter with power. You know what I mean? Do you have enough of an idea of how this lineup looks, considering it's been feast or famine lately, that you know what your preferred choice would be?
Well, yeah. Well, first off, Alex is at it every day, trying to, he's been doing that since he took over the job, and especially this past off season, trying to upgrade in different areas and things like that. So he's at it every day, trying to make the team better. He's tireless. So, we've been, there's always been speculation, even especially since over the winter we're looking, to add to our rotation. Of course, those other guys, the big names out there. So who knows? If we're able to get one of those guys. But we talk about, position players all the time, whether it's outfielders or infielders, and we are running basically a couple platoons right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. It all depends on if you get a chance to bring. Who it is. Is this player good enough? And is he really proven at this level where you can eliminate a platoon and that makes you better, or is it maybe you bring in a guy that you still run a platoon, but he makes you better that way too. So I don't know, but there's you look around baseball and there's so many teams having good solid seasons that everybody thinks. Or a majority of them think, they're in this thing, just like us. And so, there's probably teams that are reluctant to move anybody. It's got to be that right guy. You just don't go out and get a guy that, he's got a name, this and that. Does he fit? Is he, does he still have something left and things like that? But, Alex, he's that's one thing he does, he's always trying to make the team better. But, you can't always do that. It's not that easy. There's teams want everybody, your top guys, even for, for players that may not warrant that, there's salary things, does it fit into this and that? But nobody tries harder than he is, to get those things done. So we'll see. There's maybe some things on the radar. We'll see how all that plays out.
John, what was your read on Colby Rasmus?
I thought he looked good at the plate last night. I really did. He got that one big hit to drive in a run. He was taking some good swings, some good at bats, and he didn't do a whole lot down in AAA there on the rehab. But most guys when they go, major league players that have been in the major leagues for a while, when they go down in rehab, whether it's a pitcher or player, I don't think I've ever seen one of them really thrive down there. They're basically going down to get in shape, because they need that. I guess maybe that mental stimulation of the big leagues or something. So, yeah, but he looked good. He looked fine. He swung the bat well.
Yeah. Now, Gibby, let me ask you about the Yankees. Normally you see the Yankees team, they're big boppers. They're hitting, 20-plus home runs apiece. They're pitching the ball well. But for some reason this year they're not doing that, and they're still sticking around. Can you put your finger on why that may be, the way you've seen them, I think, 6 times this year already?
Well, yeah, you know what? They got the same players that have always, they've hit a lot of home runs in their career, a couple of them are having down years in that department. But the thing, they got great experience over there. If you look around their roster, most of them are all battle-hardened guys that have been through the playoffs year after year. So they know what that's all about, and they know what to expect, and they know how the season works and the ups and downs of it. But one thing they do, they play a good brand of baseball. They always have. The Yankees always demand that. And and they pitch. They still pitch very good. Of course, Tanaka is having some kind of year, and he's contributed that a lot. But even they took a big hit, in that rotation, with Sabathia and those guys going down. But they brought up some young guys that are holding their own, and that's a key thing for them. And their bullpen's strong with Robertson down there late, filling in for Rivera. Nobody really knew what to expect, I guess, when he took over. And then the key guy for him has been Betances, who they threw in that setup role. Who's he's almost been unhittable this year. So the Yankees, they do things right. They play a good brand of baseball, and then they don't accept mediocrity. Even if they go through stretches where they're maybe not playing great, they still have guys that have the track records. You know what? They're going to hang around, and they'll play a factor in it one way or the other.
Right.
John, you going to go to the Montgomery Inn in Cincinnati?
The what?
Montgomery Inn, isn't that was the rib place, isn't it, Barker? Did you guys used to eat at?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I used to eat at the field all the time.
Okay.
they have really good food at the field. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Big league spreads, man.
You couldn't get Barker out of bed early enough to go to lunch or something.
That's awesome.
Hey, listen, John. Best of luck tonight, and go get him, and have a safe trip to Cincinnati. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
You
Good
guys
luck,
get back.
Gibby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks, Gibby.